In the name of Amen the Supreme, the All Powerful, the one and only true Lord, in Amen we trust as the Republican Mentellect, the true 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, the Mentalists. Menzeka Aminun to all of my mentalist brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republican Mentellect, and to all registered mentalists who have yet to find their way home to the Republican Mentellect. I sing greetings to you and I send peace out to you in Amentelian language by saying to you, Menzeka Aminun. Good evening, I'm your host, the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be talking about the lost black race. Now, again, I'm speaking about black people as lost because they are, in fact, lost people. People who have lost their minds, people who have lost their vision, people who have lost their way in this three-dimensional stage of life. They have lost their minds, they have lost their ways, they have lost their directions. They have no rhyme and reason for what they're here for other than to eat, sleep, and, do all of the regular things that people do, which is nothing much different than animals. They've been reduced. They've been reduced to a lost people who have lost their minds, lost their way, lost their direction. And once you lose your mind, you lose your way, you lose your direction, you get locked into this three-dimensional space of people, place, and possession. You pretty much lose everything. You're gone. There's nothing you can do. See, it was a time when our people were looking forward to tomorrow, right? We looked forward to what tomorrow brought and the children that we had and the hopes and dreams that we were looking to accomplish in the world, future things. We looked forward to the future, becoming better people, right? For the evolution of self and kind, we look toward that. We don't do that anymore. Now we're caught up in our feelings. Black people are caught up in black people are caught up in their feelings, they're caught up in their emotions, and they don't see the bigger picture any longer. They don't see the bigger picture. They're momentary people, people of the moment, people of the minute, not the people who see the bigger picture, right? We are, or should I say they are, because I am making a distinction, and I said the brighter bronze race over here and the black race over there, but we have to find our brighter bronze people within the black race. We have to, all right? By pointing out or giving direction to those who are lost within the black race, who are lost within the three-dimensional state, who are double-minded, who are caught up in people, place, and possession, right? We have to give direction to them, those who are seeking direction, who want out, but it is so hard for many to leave that state of existence. It's so hard for them. It's so hard for them to get out of that state of people, place, and possession and being locked into these false philosophies and concepts of the beast, right? Following the ways of the Caucasians, down to believing that you black people, that you Negroes, that you African Americans. And I got to keep repeating that because that program is very heavy on the minds of black people, on the minds of lost black people. I'm black, I'm African American, Pan-African, right? I'm Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm an Israelite. That program is very heavy on the minds of so-called black people, which is why they're lost. And you have people who look like you who have volunteered to aid the pale beast man in keeping you lost forever. Their platforms, their movements, their organizations, be it Masonry, the Boule, right? That's your bourgeoisie Negroes who basically serve the beast, who have taken a vow to these white Masonic orders to keep black people, so-called black people, in darkness and never let them know who they are. They've taken a vow to do that, to keep their people in darkness for money, for prestige, for fame. And you can find these people in your face. These are the ones who are telling you that you are Muslims, that you are Christians, that you are Israelites, that you are Moors, that you are African Americans, that you are Pan African, right? That your vote counts, that you can be Democrats, that you can be Republicans, that your vote even counts. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth because these Negroes are wrapped up in lies, beliefs, and a law system. They're locked up in lies and beliefs and a law system. They're not going to tell you the truth. The truth is not, or should I say, they're not going to give you the reality because what they're actually doing is giving you their truth. That's what I mean to say, which is a lie. By that, when I say the lost people give you their truth, they give you a bunch of conceptualized nonsense that they think is going to make their lives better. And by you accepting this conceptualized nonsense of the white man, that it somehow is going to make your life better, right? By believing that your vote count, by believing that you get more politicians in the office, by believing that, black people got power by marching and dancing and singing and all this other nonsense, you actually believe that this is going to aid in your evolution. See, black people don't even know where they want to go or what the goal is in the everyday life that they experience. They don't even know what the goal is. Black people, honestly, are just happy with eating, sleeping, having sex, and just the mediocre things, having a roof over their head, and that's it. They want to live in peace, or should I say survive in peace. They want to live in peace, survive in peace. But what they do not understand is that you have a race of people, a sick race of people who are dedicated to making your lives a living hell, right? That is your Caucasians. That is your East Indians that work in unison with them. That is your Asians who revel in making your life a living hell, who will never let you live in peace, who will always, 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 as long as you are amongst them, feed on you, plague you, like the parasites that they are. And why? Because the Lord's black race opens their arms up for these parasites. They open themselves up to be fed on because they want equality. They want something that does not even exist. They want something called equality. Black people want to be equal to other races of people. Equality. Something that does not exist. Something that's not real. Because by you asking people for equality, you're asking them to share power with you. You're asking them to share their power, their supremacy, or their idea of supremacy. You're asking them to give you a piece of what they got. That's the only way to get equality. You're asking people to give you something that they're not willing to give, and nor should they want to give it. If their people are feeding on this power stream of energy, this supremacy, right? Be it white supremacy, whatever, or have a ruling class mentality, why would I then want to share that with you? Why would I want to share that with you? Why would I want to give you a slice of the pie when my people can continuously eat on that pie forever, that pie of power? Why would I want to share things with you? I do better by keeping things away from you or just denying or giving you nothing, which black people do not deserve. Black people have this idea of entitlement, like somebody owes them something, right? And only a lost people believe they are owed something by others. Only a lost people. Only a people who do not know who they are feel like they have to live hand to mouth and ask people for something. Go to people with hat in hand and constantly have to plague other people, even to the point of plaguing themselves, right? By asking for things, by going with your hand out, by going proud, because that's how they know black people to be. People in darkness, people who have no pride, people who have no standards, people who have no mental fortitude, meaning vision, people who are not raising visionaries, right? People who are just out here like roaches, surviving, eating whatever's tossed off of the table, whatever crumbs are tossed off of the table like roaches. This is what they know black people to be. And this is what black people have become. I don't care if it's the most influential black people or what you think is influential. Right? Here it is when I put that picture up of LeBron James on my wall where he was bouncing the basketball, because I said everybody was bent out of shape over the little boy wearing the coolest monkey in the jungle sweatshirt from H&M, right? Everybody got bent out of shape over that, right? All black people got bent out of shape over that. However, I guarantee you black people are going to still go in there and shop. See, they do things like that for a test to see if black people, so-called black people, are affected by that. Does that bother them that they're going to be insulted in society? That they're going to be insulted in society? See, because after insulting you comes assaulting you. I'm going to say it again. After they insult you, right, they will eventually assault you. Insult you, they will assault you. It always starts off because it was a time where, everybody was being politically correct, PC. Oh, don't say the word nigga. Don't say the word gay. Don't use the N word. Don't use the F word, faggot. Don't say this. Don't do that. Don't say that. But then you still see the N word around. The word niggas coming back strong. White people calling you niggas, right? They calling you monkeys, and not just them. Black people, so-called black people, the lowest black people are willing to be the idea of a monkey or act like apes and gorillas and monkeys for payment, to denigrate their people for payment, right? Insult you to see if you have become desensitized to it. They insult you to see if you become desensitized to it. And the minute you're no longer desensitized to it, the minute you don't say anything about it, the minute you got no problem with it, the minute you all line your asses up and go back in H&M, right? That's when they're going to start to assault you. First comes the insult, then comes the assault, right? Because they feel like if you don't have enough pride to stick up for yourselves as people, right? You don't have enough pride to stick up for yourselves as people, take a stand for something, then, well, they might as well knock your ass down. They might as well assault you. They might as well knock your ass down. If you can't stand up, they might as well knock your ass down. That's how they feel about that. You understand? You understand? They might as well knock your ass down. They do that purposely. Then if you notice, they put the little black boy's mother up there, right, telling you, oh, get over it, it's no big deal, right? After she denigrated her own son. See, because she ain't got to be up there with the coolest monkey in the jungle shirt on. Her son got to be. And her son is supposed to represent her future. Supposed to represent the future. She didn't mind denigrating her own son for money. See, she's not going to be up there like that. Her son could be up there like that, and he's going to have to, his image is going to be up there forever. His image is going to be up there forever. It will live in infamy. But she don't care because she got paid. She thought about the monetary and the momentary thing. You understand? You understand? She thought about that. Right? She thought about that. She thought about how she could monetize off of her son. That's what she thought about. She thought about how she could monetize off of her son, temporary and momentary things. And she didn't give a damn. She didn't look at the bigger picture. And you got a lot of people who think like this. You got a lot of people who think like this. You got a lot of lost black people who think like this. They don't see the bigger picture in anything. They don't see that. They don't see the bigger picture in anything. Right? They don't see the bigger picture in anything beyond what they want momentarily. They don't see the bigger picture and beyond things they want momentarily. They only see that's second. And this is why other races of people will continuously and constantly move ahead of so-called black people, and black people will continue to be lost. They will continue to be lost because black people act and react on momentary things, things that are fleeting, right? And they don't think about the impact it's going to make tomorrow. That will guarantee that people will be lost in tomorrow. Black people do things that lose them in the future and lose them in the annals of history all the time, right? When you sell your people out, when you okay with and you co-sign on being insulted and assaulted, you signing yourself out as a people. See, because people, other races of people will always take a big shot at those who they consider to be weak, because it is a way to constantly flex their muscle. It is a way to constantly flex their muscle to prove something to themselves. Right? Right? It is a way to flex their muscle, and it is a way to move forward. You understand? That's the way to do that. They get stuck in the moment constantly. Is no future vision. There is no future view, which is why they do it. This is a continuous thing. This is a constant thing. And this is what keeps black people lost. So much so that when you speak about the future, which is all that should be on the minds of our people, when you speak of the future of them, they don't take it in. They miss the future. They miss it. They miss it by a mile. They don't see it. They don't see the bigger picture and nothing. That's why they can settle on these titles, these false titles. They can settle on, being in a circle and constantly separating themselves amongst others, seeking to draw energy from others. Like I said, when you see black people going to be Muslims, when you see them going to be Christians, when you see them going to be Israelites, do you know what that says to the world? You know what that says to the world when you see black people being Christians, black people being Muslims, black people spread all out? You know what that says? That says those people are lost, and that they would rather find a connection. They would rather find a link. They would rather find some sort of kinship with other races of people and lose themselves within that other race of people. That's what it says. That's what it says. It becomes loud and clear to those who can see it. It becomes loud and clear to those who can see it, the people who are not lost. Because the only way you are not lost in the world, is if you have a future. You're looking to the future. That is the only way that you will not be lost in the world. That is the only way. Without that realization, without that reality, you will be lost in the world continuously and constantly. You will be lost in the world continuously and constantly. Constantly trying to figure out what the meaning of life is. What is this all about? Constantly in a circle, constantly locked in other people's concepts, constantly locked in other people's ways of thinking, limited ways of thinking, and thinking that you're free. Thinking that these thoughts in your head actually are your thoughts rather than being the conceptualized views, limited views of other people. Black people don't even know all of the thoughts in their head now as black people come from other people. They don't even realize that the thoughts in their head as black people, and I do use that, right? Realistically, using that terminology as black people, all the thoughts in your head as black people come from other people, namely Caucasians, namely Jews. You understand? All the thoughts in your head come from other people, right? Other people's limited concepts of you as a people. See, they got a lot of these so-called blacks, these black power people, these black Pan-Africanist people, these black history people. They got a lot of these black leaders to teach their ideologies to you, to teach their limited ideologies and what they think to you. You understand that? To teach their limited ideologies, concepts, and views about you to you. Basically, to program you. So whenever you hear that African American, Pan African, I am somebody, Rainbow Coalition, black power nonsense, which is communism, and all these other concepts of the beast. Whenever you hear this stuff, it's being pushed in you, and you're being programmed by that. These are not your thoughts. These are not your thoughts. Even the so-called educated blacks are educated by Caucasians, who then turn around and come and teach you the concepts of Caucasians and teach you these concepts and tell you how to deal with one another. But they don't see a problem with that. They go and get educated, so-called educated or trained from white people, from Caucasians or Caucasian educational system and structure, that then turn around and try and teach you. Right? They go around and try and teach you. And I'm not talking about reading, writing, and arithmetic or technical things. I'm talking about psychology, clinical studies and psychology and all this other nonsense, sociology, liberal arts, right? All the things that involve people conducting social engineering on you, basically getting into your head, messing with your mind, and getting you further lost in the world, confusing you. I don't think that we're going to get an argument that black people in this world are confused, are lost. You don't know if you want to be a homosexual. You don't know if you want to be a damn lesbian. You don't know if you want to be a tranny. You don't know if you want to, you don't know if you don't like nobody. You don't know if you want to be with a black person, a white person. You don't know if you want to mix your seed. You don't know if you want to have mulatto children. You don't know what the hell you want. You don't know nothing. Because they give you all these choices that really lead back to them, that really lead you into a state of being lost. See, when people give you a whole bunch of choices, or they look as though they're giving you a whole bunch of choices, the whole point of that is to lose you in these choices. See, when you have only one choice to make, when you only have one path to travel, there's no confusion. There's no confusion. You understand that? When you have one path to travel, one road to take, there is no confusion. You understand that? But see, they always want confusion. They always want people lost. They want to give you all these different choices instead of a singular choice. Instead of that singular choice, they want to give you all of these choices instead of one choice. The choices lead you in circles, right? The choices lead you in circles. When we do a lot better, see, in the other societies, the other societies do a lot better when their lives are already laid out for them. They do a lot better. See, in the Jewish community, the little Jewish boys they already got the little Jewish boys lined up, letting them know you're going to be doctors. You're going to be lawyers. You're going to be into finance. You could play music if you want to. You're going to be working in the family business. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. So they don't have any choice. They go into those professions, and black people, you go to jobs, right, and you do nothing because there's no direction, because you're lost. I'm going to take a call. 845.
Yeah, what's up, brother? This is Jason from Brooklyn. How you doing today?
How you doing?
Yeah, I see you talking about the black race, right? Like, I mean, I'm trying to get more in depth of what the main topic about. I guess you're talking about the black plight, like
the lost black race. The lost black race.
The lost black race. I like that. You know, one of the things I want to suggest, maybe like this could be a future topic, but I think it's definitely going to be affecting the black community. There's
no black community.
That is true. That is true. That's an oxymoron. It's very true. One of the things I want, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, technology, I think, is going to be the black race's biggest nightmare in the coming decades. I mean, I'm just reading some of these articles right now, man, and like for instance, they just came out with this thing in California called Amazon Go, and this thing is phenomenal. Like, you just go into the store, you walk out, and my point of bringing that up is artificial intelligence is getting real scary. I mean, even this IBM guy who's like from MIT, he was training this AI for like 2 weeks, and the AI was able to do things that he even got scared of. He was like, "Oh my God, this thing is like beyond what I thought." And my point of bringing that up is, like white people, I feel like they're safe because they just have wealth to almost help them. But with the black community, we have, like, you just look at the net worth of most black people, we really don't have no net worth. And I think technology is gonna really affect us big time, and nobody's addressing this because this is gonna be huge. Technology is gonna really take a lot of jobs away, and black people are gonna get hit really bad with this thing, man.
Good. That's good.
You said good? Oh my God.
Yeah, I said that's good. I said that's good. Black people need that. Black people need to be hit hard, and they need for the white man to just basically throw cold water in their damn face and take everything away from them. They need to. The white man really needs to show them exactly how they feel about you, not taking things away from you. They need to. So you'll have to do for yourself. You have to do more. That's good.
Wow. Never had anybody say it like that. That's crazy.
Because black people think somebody owed them something. You call white people. This is what I don't understand. Black people call white people the devil and say they evil and this, that, and the third. But then everything you constantly go to them for things. Constantly going to them for things.
Yeah, true.
And I'm like,
Very true.
how long you think they're gonna keep on? How long you think they're gonna keep on giving you jobs? How long you think they're gonna keep on taking care of you? How long you think they're gonna keep on hearing, oh, this, that, and the third, and before, it's like when that thing happened in New Orleans, right? And you had white people pull together when the levees broke or was blown up. When you had
during Katrina,
you had white people came together and was saving each other, getting in boats and stuff like that, and they was leaving black people behind. Now black people was like, oh, help me, this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 and this and the third. And I'm like, they rolled by, told black people, get the hell out of here, get away from us. And they was right to do that. They let black people die because the black people think white people owe them something, that they love you. They don't love you. They don't love you. Black people want to be loved. They in this love-hate relationship with white people, Caucasians, and they're going to have to learn the hard way. Black people going to have to learn the hard way. This is why they're going to be lost forever. They think somebody owed them something.
Yeah, you're right. That's crazy, man.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good when the black woman lose her Section 8, when the black woman lose her welfare, when the black man lose his job. It's going to be good. When the more police brutality, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. More niggas getting shot down in the street, that's beautiful. You know why?
So you think
because that'll wake the so-called black man up.
You're saying that we need that rude awakening, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You really need to know how the white man feel about you, the beast feel about you. You need to know how the beast man, because I'm like, the hell with it. Just let it all hang out. Let it be known, man. Let's stop. Quit fucking around, man. Quit fucking around. I use that language. Quit fucking around. You understand? Bring it out.
I think Trump is the best thing that my wife thinks I'm crazy sometimes, but I think Trump is the best thing that ever happened to the black community because white people are finally being honest. Trump's making white people have enough courage now to come out and really tell us how he feels. Because Trump was like,
they all feel like that. They all feel like that. They all are. They all feel like that.
Did you
and
see
I don't
that
got no problem with it.
Yeah, me too. Did you see that video on World Star Hip Hop? Did you see that video on World Star Hip Hop where that white lady was like, yeah, Trump? Like, she was like so happy, so ecstatic that Trump said, I don't want these people from these shithole countries coming over here. And this white lady was just so ecstatic, almost like she won the lottery the way she was acting, man. She was so happy to have a president stand up for what, a lot of white people feel on the low,
Yeah, well, they all feel like that. Even the so-called liberal ones who you think your friends, who you got your white friends and whatnot, your Eminem type people, like how them simple ass Negroes were sitting up there all happy when Eminem was talking that bullshit on the BET Award about Donald
Yeah.
Trump dressed in black, and he had these simple ass niggas in the
Yeah.
background, and people didn't even understand the symbolism of that. See, because Eminem, all he did was basically he put himself out in the forefront and put the niggas in the background like they was background scenery, and put them out there. Basically, I'm your leader, y'all getting back of me, and I'm gonna talk this stuff about Trump, which he don't really believe. You understand? And he talked all that, and these Negroes actually sat there and thought, yeah, Eminem took a stand for us. He know how simple-minded black people are. They just so happy to have a white savior. Even that coon-ass nigga, Redman, that coon-ass nigga, talking about, he took a stand for us. See, this is the lost black race right there. They want a hug from the white man. These niggas are disgusting, man. The so-called black race is disgusting. The nigga woman want to lay down with the black man. I mean, with the white man. She want to lay in bed. She feel honored to lay in the bed with the white man. And the black man, while his black female laying in bed with the white man, he want a hug from the white man, and maybe go out with his white woman. And they can't stand your guts, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, you right, bro. Deep, man.
These niggas are disgusting.
Right.
These niggas are disgusting. The so-called black race are disgusting. I'm going to just use that language tonight, raw and because I was going to be tame with it. But the hell with the black race, man. The hell with the black race.
And you know what's crazy? A lot of people are starting to wake up, and they're saying that the worst thing that ever happened to us was like that whole civil rights integration. Like segregation literally was the best thing that happened to black people. A lot of people are starting to come out and say, even David Banner came out on national television. He said, when we were segregated, we had our own businesses, we had black pride, we had so many black billionaires, so many black entrepreneurs. And, you know, a lot of people are saying what Martin Luther King was fighting for, it became a nightmare. Like, integration was the worst thing that ever happened to the black community. Everybody's starting to realize that, you know?
Well, no, it should have been about separation, not segregation, separation. Because I named people who are, in fact, separated in the society. When I talked about the Jews and the Asian community, they're really separated in the society. They not segregated, they separated. You understand? They got their own schools and things like that, and that's how black should have been. So-called black people should have been separated in this country from everybody else. And that don't mean that you know, because they was going to let you go in stores anyway and spend money. But what I'm saying is, black people should have been separated or had a separatist mindset, because in order to develop a supreme mindset or a supremacist mindset, you have to have a separate one.
Yep.
You can't develop a supreme mindset. You can't develop a mindset of supremacy if you're trying to be with everybody. So you have to be separate in order to be supreme. The Jews understand that. The Asians understand that. They all understand that. Black people don't get it. Black people want to be with everybody. But see, that was done by Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King was a communist and a socialist, and he was just working working for the government pretty much to push black people in or integrate black people into the program. That's all that was. That's why he did that. He wasn't about helping no black people. He wasn't about helping no black people, brother. He wasn't. He wasn't about helping no black people. And neither was Malcolm X. After he left the Nation of Islam. After he left the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X sold out, man.
But then they say at the end, Martin Luther King realized that dream he had was a nightmare. And at the end, when he started to realize, like, you know, it was like he was pursuing economic power, that's when the white man said, okay, we got to get rid of this guy. And then that's when they decided to kill him. Because before it was all about integration, which, wasn't that the niggas? I hear that a lot from a lot of people.
Well, they didn't need Martin Luther King no more. They didn't need him no more. They already used him already. You understand? They used him for what they wanted to use him for, and then he started he outlived his usefulness. You know, and when you outlive your usefulness to the white man, he's just gonna basically get rid of your ass after a while. And that's what he did with Martin Luther King. You understand? That's what he did with Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did with John F. Kennedy. After you outlive your usefulness, they just get rid of you. You understand? And that goes for a lot of you so-called black sellouts out there. You understand? Who's selling out and whatnot and leading up black people in circles and whatnot. The white man gonna get rid of you too. Your slave master gonna get rid of you niggas too.
They sure haven't got rid of Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson yet. I guess they still need them. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. They've been around for a while.
Well, they ineffective, brother. They ineffective. They not doing nothing. They ineffective. The white man don't really need them for nothing. What they use them for, what they'll use Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson for, is basically to bring in the homosexual and lesbian agenda, and basically because they use so-called black organizations and movements with civil rights, and they'll use these people to push the civil rights, but it's really supposed to be an agenda that they're using to bring in homosexuals and lesbians and transgenders and whatnot. That's what they're doing that for. So they'll use that. You hear Al Sharpton and them talking. Now he's supposed to be reverends. These are supposed to be reverends, and they're supposed to be about the Bible. But they'll sit up here, and I don't know what church they're supposed to be reverends at. They all Reverend Martin Luther King, Reverend Al Sharpton. They all big time reverends and whatnot. But here it is. They marching with faggots and lesbians. All kinds of confusion and degeneracy.
Let me ask you another question. What do you think about the black church? Do you think the black church hurt the black community more than any other? Because I had friends who have actually, debated that. They said, how some people said in the 1980s the crack was the worst thing to have in the black community. I have friends that are telling me, no, it's not crack. It's not anything else. It's not hip hop. It's the church. People, dudes are literally telling me the church hurt the black community more than any other thing. And then I asked why. They said, because think about it. People are waiting on a superhero to basically solve all their problems. So it makes you lazy. And one of my friends called it welfare spirituality. That's what he calls it. He called Christianity welfare spirituality, where basically you don't have to do nothing, just sit on your ass, and this guy named Jesus is going to come back and fix everything for black people. And he said it's clearly caused black people to be completely, just handicapped. Which is because even my mother, for instance, when I talk to her about the plight of black people, she's like, oh, I'm not worried. Jesus is going to come back and fix all this. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about racism. I'm not worried about inequality. Jesus is going to come back and correct everything. And I hear that from a lot of elders. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing with that. A savior will come back and start correcting everything. But these Negroes ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for one who's going to come to straighten things out. They don't want that. They still want to follow the white man. They say that in order for things to be straightened out in the world, you have to admit things are crooked in the world. And black people are not willing to admit that. Black people still want to believe they vote count. They still don't want to believe that the white man and all the rest of these races don't hate you. Yes, they hate your goddamn guts and want you dead. You still don't want to accept that they don't want to have nothing to do with you. You don't want to accept that that, like I said, your vote don't count. You don't want to accept these degenerate things that's going on around you in the world, how they trying to push you into. So they don't want to admit that this structure and this system that's set up here is work against you. Black people want to work within it and want to think that it's here to work for them. So in order for you to acknowledge or say that you need help, you have to first acknowledge that there's a problem. Black people ain't trying to do that. All black people want to do is get money. All black people want to do is get money, watch sports, and go shopping. That's it. That's all black people want to do.
True.
They want to watch sports. They want to get money. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
Facts.
And that's all they need. They ain't looking for no savior because they don't even think nothing wrong. That's how lost they are. They don't think nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They don't believe
what you
nothing
said is
wrong.
facts right there. Straight up facts
they
right
good.
there. Yeah. They got the weed. They got the little.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. What I was gonna say is they got the weed. They got their little football. Super Bowl's about to come. You know what I'm saying? So. As long as you give the black man his sports, his little fried chicken, his malt liquor, his PlayStation 4, and his big booty chick, he good. He he in ghetto heaven.
That's all he want. That's all the black man want. That's why he lost. And that's why he's gonna keep getting shot down in the street. That's why the police gonna keep locking them up. You understand? Because he's gonna, like this, is gonna come a time where the white man just gonna start going through the streets. Like I said, he's gonna start going through the streets. And just locking niggas up for nothing. Just locking you up for nothing. You look like somebody. I think
but you know
did
what,
this.
brother?
You look like somebody.
What you saying is so true because, I was telling my wife this a couple of weeks ago, right? Probably a couple months ago. I was watching these hip-hop videos, right? And I really don't watch hip-hop videos like that, but I was just curious. I'm in my 30s, right? So I was just trying to say, okay, what's trending now? Because, I'm like the 1990s rap, like the real old school rap that had, some substance to it. But then I was looking at this hip hop and I'm seeing all these it's almost like menstrual shows. Like these guys with tattoos all over their face, hair crazy types of haircuts. And mind you, I'm a black man. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, these guys look like animals. They look like menstrual shows, like almost like animalistic. And I'm like, wow, I see what they're doing. They're programming like people to say, you know what? Because think about it. Me as a black man, I'm black, and I'm looking at these savage niggas because that's what they look like, savage niggas with their gold in their teeth, tattoos all over their face, crazy looking Negroes, like the worst type of stereotypical niggas you can imagine. They're having them all these hip hop videos, and white people are just throwing money at these guys so they can act even more barbaric. And I said to myself, wow, this is a perfect way. This is a perfect way to literally kill off black men and have nobody feel empathy for them. And this is what Hitler did during the freaking times of because I was looking at history, and Hitler did the same programming. He made the Jews look like savages. He made them look like animals. He made them seem subhuman. So when it came time to exterminating them, people would be like good written. And I was like, oh my God, this is the same. Like this is the same plan they're doing with us. They're doing the same tactic with us. Because you look at these black people, and I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead, bro.
Well, let me tell you something. Do you know what they're really modeling black people after? These young black people like 21 Savage and
Kodak
Berg.
Black.
You know who they really Kodak Black. You know who they really modeling? Lil Wayne. You know who they really making them look like? They're making them look like savage Africans. Savage Africans.
Yes.
Savage Africans.
Oh my God.
Because what do the Africans do? The Africans they show the African gold in their mouth, scarification, tattooing themselves up. They try to make them look like savage Africans.
Yeah.
Because that's what the white man tell you. And then this guy David Banner, you talk about him, he sold out too, man. This guy talking about, we tribal Africans. We ain't no damn tribal.
Wait.
We ain't no tribal Africans, man. He's going to we tribal Africans. Nah, man.
But
he's with the beast, man. He's with the beast.
You think so?
You know, if Coca-Cola and all these people are sponsoring this dude, he's with them, man. They sponsoring tours and he going around and whatnot and doing speaking engagement. He with them, man. Whenever you see these Negroes, go on, check these shows out. When you see these Negroes go on Vlad TV, when you see them on the Breakfast Club, they sold out, man. Because that's controlled by the beast, man. That's these Jews, man. These Zionists, they control all that, man. They ain't letting nobody come on. They ain't letting nobody come on there. They're not letting nobody come on there and get all of that exposure like that if they don't own you.
So let me ask you, think Dr. Umar Johnson is like working for them too?
Is Dr. Umar Johnson working for them? Yeah, he is. I'm going to say it just like this.
What?
Maybe unconsciously. Hold on, let me say why. Because if you're going to keep on teaching that we are black Africans, right? If you're going to keep teaching that lie that we only come from Africa and you teaching Pan-Africanism, you understand, which we're not Africans. You understand? That's a lie the white man taught. You understand? Then you aiding and helping them too. You're helping them teach that lie. You understand? You're helping them teach that lie.
African?
No, we're not African. No, we're not. That's a lie the white man taught. The whole planet belonged to us. This whole planet belonged to us. How do you say? Let me explain what I mean by that. When I said that our people, or we are the descendants of those creators who created this planet, right? And we refer to them as the Amen. We say that we was the first people to walk the earth and that we created the earth first. That means the whole planet belonged to us because, you could do historically, you'll know that so-called black, I'm using the word so-called, which was really the Bronze race. I'm going to explain that in a second. So-called black people was all over the planet before, before the continental drift. So how do you say that these people are African? Exactly. That's a concept. That's a concept of the white man. Because if you ask Umar Johnson, who told us you was African and who told you was black, he's going to have to say white people did. So how are you going to teach this nonsense that the white man is basically telling you that you come from one part of the planet? Do that even sound right?
I never thought about it that way. Never.
He's going to teach you that you come from one part of the planet. And now when they say African, what are you going to naturally think because of what the white man taught you about Africa? Hell, the white man named the place Africa. So if you're going to tell people we African,
wait,
you basically
Africa's after.
Yeah,
Was
the white
Africa
man
the
named the
name after
continent. Yes, the
Africana?
white man. Yes, brother.
Africana?
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. The white man named the continent Africa. It didn't come from no black people, no so-called black people. He called you African, and he said the place was Africa, and he called you black people. So I'm pretty sure Dr. Umar Johnson knows that. So how are you going to talk against white supremacy when you teaching white supremacy?
Damn. That's crazy deep right there.
You can't speak against white supremacy and you teaching all the concepts of white supremacy. We African, we come from one place on the damn planet, the colored section of the planet, the black section. He not teaching that we was all over the planet, which is the truth. While the white man was in the damn caves, in the caves in Europe and stuff, and the Asians and all these other people was in Europe in the caves, he ain't teaching that. That whole Pan-African nonsense come from the white man, from these so-called Jews who was pushing that in these schools. That whole Pan-African, black of African American studies nonsense, man.
Wow.
A lot of these guys, let me tell you something, a lot of these guys that's pushing this red, black, and green, black power, RBG crap, a lot of these guys work for the white man, man. A lot of these guys work for these Jews, man, these Zionists, man, because they want to push you under that whole red, black, and green thing because they lying to you about your heritage, because that's a way to limit your heritage and the knowledge of who you really are, which is the owners and the rulers, the true owners of this planet, because you never see the white man saying that he's European. You won't see him saying, oh, he come from one continent. You won't see that. The white man trying to claim everything. He'll say he American, he European, he Africana. He claim everything, every square inch mile of this planet.
Right.
He claimed
it.
Australian, European. He claimed every square inch. American. He claimed every, and now he about to claim Mars. That these simple niggas are still talking about we African, and the whole planet belonged to us. This is why I'm talking about the lost black race.
You want some next
This is why I'm talking about the lost black race. You understand that?
Yeah, that's deep, man. I never had anybody break it down that way. Yeah, because
who controls Africa? You know, Africa is named after a Caucasian white man named Scipio Africanus.
Yeah, but Dr. Umar Johnson said that's not true, though. Dr. Umar Johnson, that's not true. It was a name after that guy. He said it was
who he said it was named after.
I forgot. I have to get the information. The next time maybe I'll call you. I'll update you. But he said they're giving out wrong information.
That's a lie. That's a load of BS. Because they asked him that question when I was on in the Black Radio. This was a year or two back, and I said about what I said about Marcus Garvey and how he was the one that came up with that red, black, and green flag, which really come from the Irish. Right, from the white Irish, right, and they rebellion, which he took from them, even the name Garvey, because the Irish were heavy in Jamaica, and a lot of the names they got in Jamaica are Irish names and whatnot. I said the red, black, and green flag comes from them. When they asked Umar Johnson about that, he kind of just brushed it off. He didn't never explain why it wasn't. He just said, oh, that ain't true. That ain't good enough. Say why it's not true. I can tell you why it is true. Nobody ever disputed, and I've been saying that from day one, that the so-called Africa was named after Leo Scipios Africanus, a Caucasian Caucasian Roman officer. You understand? Nobody ever disputed that. And all your Pan-Africanists know that Africa was named after a white man. So where this nonsense going to come from, where Umar Johnson or anybody going to come all of a sudden and tell me, oh, Africa is not named after a Caucasian? Everybody know, anybody who did their history and research know that. That's why when I say it on here, they will never dispute it. These Pan-Africans will never come on here and dispute that.
That's crazy.
That's reality, brother. It's not crazy. It's reality. A lot of these guys are following the beast, man. Either one way or the other, man. You understand? One way or the other. And Umar Johnson, whoever the hell, Tariq Nasheed, whoever the hell it is that was supposedly holding themselves up to be the savior to black people or dropping nonsense, this, that, and the third. Nobody get a pass on that, man.
Are you saying that this whole conscious community, you trying to tell me this whole conscious community has been hijacked by white supremacists? Like they basically steering it and controlling the whole pretext to it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And you know why I say that? You know why I say that? Because you know what they're gonna wrap up in this whole black conscious thing? Because check it out now. I want you to watch clearly. Now, this is supposed to be taken seriously, right? Who is the face of so-called black consciousness today? You'll see like Sarnetta TV. You familiar with that, right?
Yeah, of course. Sarnetta, yeah.
Okay, Sarnetta TV, Umar Johnson. But what have you seen in the
Tariq
last
Nasheed.
three to four?
Tariq.
Yeah, Tariq Nasheed.
Tariq
But what
Nasheed.
have you seen? Okay, but no, okay, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Sarnetta. What have you seen in the last 4 or 5 years from this? You've seen guys going back and forth, cursing each other out, calling each other niggas, and things like. Have you not?
Now they fighting. Dr. Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed are fighting now.
Yeah. The guy Sarnetta cursing out Polite or calling people, cursing out people and stuff like that.
Yo,
now
let me ask you a question. What happened to Polite? He just disappeared. Like, he's in Hollywood now, living this like hip hop.
Bro, he ain't disappeared.
No,
he went and lived. He's out in L.A., brother. He out in Hollywood. I don't care about what Polite doing. Polite going and living the life he want to live. He's one of the lost black people. Like I said, he finally woke up to what he wanted. He got woke up to what he wanted to go and be, which was out there in Hollywood doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? With the beast. You know what I'm saying? That's what he woke up to. All that black conscious stuff, brother, it ain't nothing but some hustle and some scam for some money, man. That's all that is. It's a load of BS. Because how you going to sit up here and talk about, okay, hold on. How you going to sit up here and claim you about black people, but then you sitting up here and cursing out other so-called black people? You know what I'm saying? Black power, peace and black power, family, black content, but then you cursing out other black people. You advocating black men going against each other. Shouldn't they be working together? Shouldn't it not be no beef? Be like, look, brother, all that stuff is petty. Whatever I said about you, whatever you said about me, yo, we going to all work together. Why ain't they doing that? And these supposed to be your intelligent ones, right?
Yeah, very intelligent ones, yeah.
But these niggas acting like it's some debate, some back and forth, or some rap video like they battling or something, like it's a damn street battle.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people are saying the conscious community is what basically 1990s gangster rap was. Like, these dudes are really going at it with each other, you know.
So okay, so then how can you? That's nothing but chaos and confusion. So how the hell are they going to help anybody? And they sitting up here going back and forth with each other, like you said, like some straight up nigga nonsense. They supposed to be better than that, right?
Yeah. Facts.
This is supposed to be the best, right here. That's the best. See?
Yeah.
Let me say this before you ask the next question. You don't think that's by design, brother? You don't think that's by design?
I agree with you because something wrong with that. I'm like, damn, why are these black dudes going at each other like that? Like, this was the ball talking about building each other up, and they're literally going out their way to destroy each other. That's crazy. You're right.
That's by design, brother. That's by design. They're doing that on purpose to create chaos and confusion. That's what that's about, to promote this back and forth, because if you was really about promoting unity, you wouldn't do that. You supposed to be like, we about peace and black power, so we're not going to go at each other like this. We're not going to take each other heads off. We're supposed to be the best and the brightest, and we're supposed to be leading our people, but I'm going to get up here and act like I'm a gangster, and I'm wearing a ski hat on my head, and I'm cursing out this one and calling you a nigga, and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. See, I use words like this because it don't bother me, because I'm not part of the conscious community, nor am I part of the black race at all. I done handed in my black card a long time ago, so I don't care what niggas do. I'm just pointing it out for you, because when you stand away from that, when you say, you know what, enough is enough, and you see that these people are full of crap, you understand? It's not hard to walk away from them. It's not that I ever really was with them at all, but like I said, it's not hard to walk away when you see people are full of crap. You understand? They all about money, brother, and they all about controversy and drama. That's it. That's not going to help us. The intelligent ones of us anyway, the ones who not lost.
That's
they
crazy,
playing games, brother. They playing games. You got, like I said, I'm doing the broadcast. Hold on. Let me say, I'm doing the broadcast for brothers like you and sisters brothers and sisters who waking up like you. Like I said, who ain't really looking at what you actually looking at here. Because, like I said, this is for the ones of our people who are waking up, who are going to wake up from amongst the lost black race. Because again, we not even black people. Look at your skin. Your skin not black. Our skin is not black. So why are they calling us black people? Why are they calling us black people?
It's almost like they trying to it's almost like they trying to can I say it's like a status. I call black a status. Really, it's not even not ethnicity. It's like basically, you know how when you say, this person is a felon or something, like that's a bad, that's, you got this bad stigma. So it's almost like basically, okay, black is just to say, okay, these people are at the bottom of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like the labeling. It's basically it's a label. Black is just a label to say, okay, you're part of this caste system. The white people are part of this caste system. Because if you look at the ones who get the worst part of everything in society, it's literally a caste system. You got black, brown, red, yellow, white. Like it's shocking. It's literally
so-called black people are at the bottom, brother. They always at the bottom.
We're at the bottom.
And so when you hear so-called black people are sticking up for black power and black empowerment, black African power, and all this other nonsense and whatnot, when the reality is that Africa is controlled by Caucasians and whatnot, and ain't none of these niggas gonna go live in Africa, yet they talking this red, black, and green, black African power stuff. That's nothing but hypocrisy.
You know what's crazy? You know when I realized it was a caste system? When I was like 11 years old, because I was looking at some of the people in my classes, right? And you had Indian people the same complexion as me, and they're considered Asian, right? Indian from India, from India, they're considered Asian. And they had the same exact complexion as me, and they're considered to be better off than me. And I'm like, wait, we have the same complexion. Why is that we're the same complexion, but they call me black, but then they call you yellow because you're part? It's just, it doesn't make sense. So it's a caste system. It has nothing to do with your color. It's a complete, it's a fucking caste system.
Because those people are just like the white man. The East Indians, the Asians, they all got that fur dog-like hair. They all the same people, okay? They're all the same. We look vastly different from everybody, and because we look vastly different from everybody, because you want to answer to that tone black, they put you in that last category as unknown, because black equals unknown, absent of light. That's why they call you black, meaning you absent of intelligence because you don't know who you are. And if you got people telling you black and you African, you understand? And, that means they really telling you ignorant and backwards and in darkness. That's what black and African really means.
But then let me ask you a question, though. Why is it that people from Egypt, they don't consider themselves black, but they're literally some Egyptian, but they're African. But then they don't consider themselves African. Like, there's no such thing as the Middle East. That's bullshit. The white man made that shit up. The Middle East, all that shit's part of Africa.
He made up Africa too, brother. Brother, he made up Africa too. All of it is the concept of white people, okay? That's why they don't do it. That's why. Because they know what African is really supposed to denote. Africa is supposed to denote savagery, backwardness. You understand? And that's why the white man calls you African. That's why he calls you black African savages. That's why he did that. And these Negroes are perpetuating that.
Man, shit crazy. Shit's deep, man.
A lot of these guys work for the beast, man. A lot of these guys are boule Negroes, all these black leaders. They double agents, man. A lot of these guys work for the beast. They pushing that black African nonsense. We not no Africans and we not black. They want to keep pushing that. You understand?
Yeah. That's great. And you know what? It's hard because you've been so programmed from the time you're like 5, 6 years old. You get indoctrinated into the school system. They keep programming you from grade to grade, and you just see the world the way the white man sees the world. It's almost like you have the lens of the white man. Like the way you view the world, you have their lens because they've indoctrinated you since you're 5 fucking years old. So you actually think like them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and exactly, I agree with you. And then when you get up here and then you start looking for who you are, then you got these black conscious people come, these so-called black conscious handlers come, and next thing you know, they telling you black, you from Africa, and this, that, and the third, you African, and all this other stuff. So like I said, that further loses you and it further separates you because you don't know where you come from in no Africa, or supposedly come from in no Africa. That's a lie. That's a lie.
So do you believe what
and
the
they know
Israelites
it's a lie.
believe? Like, do you believe what the Hebrew Israelites believe in about we're the chosen people, like we're the original Hebrew, like we're the original chosen people in the Bible and all that stuff?
Well, one thing is the so-called Israelites, they got a half of a story and whatnot because We are the original bronze Nubian people of the planet who built all the pyramid and the early governments in this society, from Sumeria to Egypt to early America and all over into Asia and things like that. We are the first governments that existed here, whether we refer to ourselves as the bronze race, which we are bronze skin or copper skinned people. We are the bronze race, you understand, of Armenic descent or those of Nubian descent. That's who we are. We ain't no Africans or the Noon or the New Moon people, the bronze New Moon people. That's who we are. That's the description of who we are. Because isn't not our skin bronze, a copper coated more than so-called black?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So then why are these Negroes still calling us black?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Because they with the
sure,
beast, brother. Black enforces that, like you said, that class system. Black is at the bottom, brother. So when you get these Negroes to keep teaching you that you black, they're getting a check from the beast to keep pushing that vibration and that frequency out that's going to keep your people at the bottom. Why you think Jay-Z came out here and made that song "Still a Nigga"? I am OJ or whatever. I'm still a nigga. Was that the song? Still a nigga.
Yeah, still a
Remember
nigga. Yep.
Why you think he pushing that? Because the white man ever so often gets these Negroes to come push that vibration of black power, Pan-Africanism, niggerism, and all this other stuff. All the things that lock you into that circle at the bottom. Because he gets these Negroes to push it.
It's true, because even when I'm hanging out with so-called, like, middle class blacks, so-called educated blacks, they'll go to these clubs or they'll go to these, like, these events, and the music that's being played in the background, and you hear these people, like, you're thinking they're enlightened, but then you hear them at the club, nigga, I'm fucking, like all that, black garbage stuff. It's so toxic, and you hear them get caught up in that. I'm like, wow, it's crazy, man. It's like the word nigga now. It's just like you said. It's being programmed. You're being programmed to see yourself a certain way, and for other people to view you a certain way. It's just amazing, bro. And you don't see any other group do this. You don't see the Jewish people playing songs that say "kike this, kike that," or any.
I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something even more powerful. See, they do stuff in front of you, you don't even realize it. Remember when that guy, what's the guy, Bill Maher? He came on TV and he said, "I'm a house nigga." The white guy, Bill Maher.
Yeah. Yup.
Okay.
He got a lot of backlash for that, though.
Okay, but let me show you something. Why did he get backlash for that? Because he called himself a nigger. He didn't say that so-called black people were niggers. He called himself a nigger. So why would anybody be mad at that?
Nigga.
Yeah. So why would anybody be mad at that?
Yeah.
And then what happened? What happened right after that? Ice Cube, another sellout. He came on Bill Maher's show talking about, the word nigga belonged to us. That's us. That's our word. That's our thing. We took it as our thing. So basically, they sent Ice Cube up there to reinforce that you so-called black people are a bunch of niggas. The white man can't call himself a nigga. That don't belong to the white man. Y'all the niggas.
Deep.
See?
I never heard anybody break it down like that. That's some deep shit you just said right there. Damn, that's some psychological shit they played on us right there, boy.
Yeah, because black people lost. You don't see it. You lost. Black people lost. They don't see it. So-called black people, they lost. And they got these Negroes, because what's the best people to con you and get you psychologically programmed and whatnot to follow certain things? What's the best people that unleash psychological damage on black people who are educated in psychology, right?
Yeah.
What did Umar Johnson got a degree
psychology.
in? Okay.
Psychology.
What kind of degree Umar Johnson got again?
He's a psychologist.
Okay.
A child psychologist.
Yeah, thank you. He's gonna teach your kids? This the same guy that's sitting up here with a damn ski hat on, nigga this, nigga that, whatever, nigga, I'm gonna get my goons on you and whatnot. And then the phone ring and whatnot. Ain't nobody on the damn phone. Somebody, it's a grown ass man up here playing games.
Right there, man.
A grown ass man. This is who going. I'm the Biggie Smalls. I'm the Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur of this Pan African. I'm the Prince of Pan. This is gonna teach your kids.
Wow, that's crazy, man. You're right about
Or
that.
Tariq Nasheed, he gonna teach your kids something? This the same guy that says he's big black power man, Tariq Nasheed, right? He big black power man, but then he turns around on the Corey Holcomb show and says, "Oh, it's nothing wrong with being with somebody of another race and still be for your people and be black." What? In other words, you could be with a white woman and still be, or a white black woman could be, a so-called black woman could be with a white man and whatnot, but she could still be about her about black people. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's crazy right there. So
that's what he said. These are the type
crazy.
of people these are the type of people that's influencing young black people and whatnot who's seeking the truth. These are the type of people. So if the rappers don't get you on one level, the degenerate nigger rappers don't get you on one, and I call them niggas. I use that word. So what? Because I don't care about the black race no more because they too poisoned mentally and whatnot. So we're gonna take the ones of our people who can be saved and can be resurrected and move on and drop that whole black thing and move on. That's what we doing in the Republic of Mentellect. But if the ignorant black rappers that the white man put out don't get the minds of your children, if the Lil Waynes, the Kodak Blacks, and the Nicki Minaj's don't destroy your children, then they got these got the upper echelon people like yourself who trying to be conscious and trying to find out. You got your Umar Johnsons, you got your Sar niggas, you got your damn Tariq Nasheed who up here cursing each other out, calling each other niggas, making diss videos and making stupid ass puppets of each other. This is what you got here. This is what's going to educate your children, huh?
But brother, let me ask you a question. Who would you recommend I listen to that you say you have respect for right now? Like you really say, okay, this dude is real.
Nubin Menkares. Me.
Hold on, how do you spell that? I'm gonna put his name on YouTube right now.
Me, brother. Me.
Oh, you. Oh.
Hell, emphatically, yes, me. Because I'm the only one that's going to give it raw and uncut. Because I don't.
So how do I look?
I don't got no. I'm the only. Let me say this. I'm the only one that's going to give it raw and uncut, brother. Because I don't got no handlers. I don't answer to no conscious, no black conscious community or nothing else. I don't give a goddamn what black people think or what white people think. You understand? I don't care. I'm about the brighter bronze race. I'm about the brighter bronze race of Armenic descent because that's who we are in this next chapter that's turning. I don't give a damn about what black people think because they just as poison as white people.
What do you think about Tommy Sotomayor?
He's a coon, man. But But I'll say one thing about Tommy Sotomayor. He's more. He drops a lot of. He teaches a lot of like he blows up Tariq Nasheed, Corey Holcomb, and a lot of other people. I say that he honest about a lot of things. You know, he's a coon, but he's more honest than he's an honest coon though about certain things. When he's talking about Tariq Nasheed and blowing them up and blowing up Umar Johnson, he was more honest about certain things, and I agree with certain things he said. But ultimately, he ain't doing nothing but serving the beast too, man, because he making these videos disrespecting so-called black women, disrespecting so-called black men and whatnot, and cursing out them. But the biggest people that support his channel or were supporting his channel was the white supremacists. Because they like to hear another so-called black man calling other black people niggas and talking bad on them, talking down on them and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's who he support. Like he goes on shows of these white supremacists.
Yeah, he do, and I think he knows that. I think he knows that, and he just don't care, you know.
No, he don't care, and that's fine. That's fine. That's what he do because, like I said, ultimately, a lot of these so-called pro-blacks. And one thing that Tommy Sotomayor said about Tariq Nasheed, he showed a video of Tariq Nasheed. Somebody asked him about hitting the lottery or something like that for $1 billion. Tariq Nasheed said, if I got hit the lottery for $1 billion, he said, man, I'm going somewhere with my family living on the island of hell with black people. He ain't say I'm gonna take some of that money and help and establish something for my people or something like that. I'm gonna take the money and go somewhere with my family and be that the hell with everybody and everything. He said
that? There. Oh wow, I didn't
he
hear
said
that.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, he said it. There go your black power. There go your black power, peace and black power. There go peace family, black. That's all a hustle, brother. All this whole black thing is a hustle.
That's crazy. I didn't know that, y'all.
And I'm gonna say something. I don't care that they hustle black people because black people stupid. Black people are lost and stupid because if you could sit up here and listen to these people and take them seriously after what they do, because they show you they not serious, brother. They show you puppet shows. Tariq Nasheed did a damn puppet at Tommy Sotomayor calling him crispy, yet you supposed to be pro-black, but you talking about how dark the man's skin is and making fun of how dark the man's skin is. What kind of madness is that? But you supposed to be pro-black. Then you make a puppet about. Then you make a puppet about the guy. What's they call him? Telling he got herpes and whatnot. Herpes the Warriors. That's gonna help black people. See, games, brother, games. Nothing but games. Games and foolishness and stupidity. These are the people that you look into. So the white man puts these people out there just to slow down the minds of black people to keep you lost, brother. He puts these people out here just to slow down the minds of so-called black people, to keep you black, keep you lost, keep you believing you from Africa, keep you believing you ain't nothing but a damn tribal spear-throwing, spear-chucking African, keep you believing that you black, your skin is black, you don't even understand why you being called black. Like I said, you understand it's part of a class system, but you don't really understand the depths of why the so-called white man and these Negroes that he got out here calling you black, what the real reason is for. Yeah, it's meant to be an insult. But listen, brother, you got any other questions? Because I got to take another call. I see another call coming in. You got any other questions?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Thanks.
All right. We on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday. Like I said, raw and uncut truth, brother. Raw and uncut reality. All right? Raw and uncut. That's all we giving out here is raw and uncut reality, brother, on MENTELLECT Radio. All right? How it really is. Peace. All right. We'll take another call. 205.
How you doing, Nuba?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I wanted to ask a question about, since you was talking about Eminem and Redman.
Oh, and Thursday too. I'm sorry. And Thursday, Enra Sindira Mendez is going to be on Thursdays at 10. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about what you thought about the Kanye West incident, because as soon as he did that, so-called black people was the first people to attack him. Snoop Dogg, Kevin Hart, before they even took him away, they was already attacking him.
Yeah, well, that's that. Well, what did Kanye West say?
He was talking about Google lied to us, Facebook lied to us. He was just ranting on about a whole bunch of stuff, about the elite and all this stuff. And they canceled his show and everything and took him to the crazy house. They forced him to get on the ambulance, and we ain't heard from him since.
Well, you know, he probably lost it, you know, and just lost his mind a little bit, so he had to tune his ass up. And of course, they're gonna send the coons out there, the coon squad. You know, the ones who on the payroll of the beast. They're gonna send the coon squad out there, Kevin Hart and them, to, you know, oh yeah, Snoop's going crazy, he losing his mind. They're gonna send the coon squad out. You know, that's what they paid to do. Anybody who get out of line, they send the coon squad out to speak out against them, say something negative and whatnot at the behest of their white slave master. That's all that's about.
But everybody was on Eminem's side, though.
Eminem?
I said, but all the black people was on Eminem's side.
Of course they was, because black people, listen, these pro-black people, all they want is a hug from the white man. That's all they want. Eminem's a white man. He, you know, and Eminem, you know, he could rhyme somewhat. He's good MC, but like I said, that's how black people are. They can't wait to kiss white people's asses. You understand? They can't wait. You understand? They can't wait. Okay, you know, they can't wait to kiss white people's asses. They got the slave mentality. Like I said, Eminem stood up here and put himself up front, and that thing where he was talking about Trump. And then put all the blacks in the back and like, I'm the leader, you niggas, and whatnot. I'm the rap god. You had these Negroes actually calling Eminem the rap god. You know what I'm saying? See, they don't think there's nothing wrong with that. All these MCs out here. Then he made a song called Monkey Bars or Monkey See Monkey Do, where he was basically calling Nas a monkey and calling 50 Cent one of them a monkey or Ja Rule a monkey. Now, everybody got on that whole thing about the little black boy with the coolest monkey in the jungle. You know, that's a known racial slur of Caucasian to call black people apes and monkeys, right? But here's Eminem. Nobody said nothing about that. He made a song called Monkey See Monkey Do, and Nas tried to get at him, but nobody checked him for that. And he got a thing out where he did the racist rap album, where he got hundreds and hundreds of hours of him saying all kinds of racist stuff against so-called black people. And he bought the tapes up from the guy who had this stuff. It was a guy, a white dude in Detroit, that had the tapes where Eminem was saying all kinds of calling black people niggers and everything else, and disrespecting black people. But then these Negroes turned around and put their arms around Eminem because he came out there and did that thing on BET talking against Trump, where he really wasn't talking against Trump. He was just basically creating controversy around his brand because his rap career was pretty much fading. So he had to create some controversy and whatnot. Now he know these simple ass niggas gonna go and buy his album. You know, because he know black people. He know all black people want is a hug, and they want a hug and they want to be embraced. That's all black people want from the white man. That's all these pro-blacks, RBG niggas. All they want is attention from white people because they don't want to do a goddamn thing. That's what the Million Man March was about. It was about getting the attention of white people.
But did you see what Trump said? He said black people might as well go vote for me. They have nothing to lose.
Well, I don't know what Donald Trump said that for. Donald Trump should have said the truth, which is your goddamn vote don't count anyway, whether you black or white. The banker's going to elect your president. So it don't matter if it was Barack Obama. It don't matter if it's Oprah Winfrey. It don't matter if it's Hillary Clinton. It don't matter who the hell it is. It don't matter if they dig up a dead guy and say he's going to be president. It's whoever they say going to be the president. Your vote don't mean your vote don't mean a goddamn thing. But you can't tell these lost black people that because these simple ass niggas was up there talking about, oh yeah. Yes, we did when Barack Obama got in office, and he didn't do a goddamn thing but help out a bunch of damn homosexuals and lesbians. But that's
actually my dad made me go vote for Obama. He made me go vote because I was like, I'm not finna vote. He's like, you gonna vote?
Yeah, of course he did. Because they still believe in this whole narrative of the white man. They still believe this. That's why black people are gonna be lost forever. They still believe in the beast. They still believe this.
And
they still believe it. They the best. Black people are the best slaves. Black people are the best slaves ever produced. They better than the white slaves. They the best slaves ever produced.
Yeah, that's true. Because I saw the picture you was talking about.
The best slave is the dumbest. The best slave is the dumbest slave.
Yeah, that's right. Though I saw that ancient. What you said, the picture with the little black guy, the little boy that they said the coolest monkey in the jungle. I think I saw all of the black women posting that saying, I don't find nothing wrong with it. I don't find nothing wrong with it.
Of course they don't, because black people lost. They simple minded, of course. So the white man ain't worried about niggas. He already know they simple minded. He got his black agents out there to constantly keep the rotation, the confusion going amongst black people. When they get in Hollywood like that and they getting around these people, they already coming into a system that's built on chaos and confusion. So of course, when the white man sends them out there and give them money to make movies, give them money for campaigns to become elected officials and things like that, he's doing it because he knows that they're going to reach that constituency of they black people, which they're going to go out and cause confusion amongst so-called black people. He already know that. He sends these people out here to cause chaos and confusion. He ain't trying to establish no law and order amongst our people because that's what our people need the most: law and order and unity. They're not trying to establish that. So whenever the white man send out some Negro who gonna go out there in the streets and take over a damn gang like the Bloods or the Crips, and the next thing you know, it started off as a community group that's protecting the people from the police, the racist police, or helping the people to get home or do whatever, protecting the kids. Now they shooting each other over colors. That's somebody they sending there to do that, man.
Well,
cause chaos and confusion. To cause chaos and confusion. All right.
Well, that's all I wanted, and I sent the letter in, so you should be getting it sometime soon. All right.
Okay, brother. All right. You're welcome. All right. We're gonna play a little bit of music. You know, this is an ode to the black race. We'll be right back. You know, I didn't want to make this about banging on anybody because I ain't about that. I'm not about banging on people. I'm not about taking cheap shots. But I am about using people as examples if it's necessary. I am definitely about that. And it was definitely necessary to use these individuals I just mentioned as an example of what I'm talking about. Because like I said, if you're not being attacked on all fronts by these messengers of the beast, and that's what I call them, the messengers of the beast, to keep you lost, keep you so-called black people lost in the source. Because, like I said, they put these people out here to keep you lost. If you're not being attacked in your neighborhoods by gangbangers and drug dealers, or having to listen to simple-minded music from damn degenerates, these Kodak Blacks and these goddamn Nicki Minaj's and whatever the Cardi B's, and you're not listening to wannabe TV reality stars and ex strippers and drug dealers and all kinds of filth and degeneracy. This is what your children are listening to. This is who writing rap songs for your children to listen to. People talking about taking drugs. You understand? Drinking cough syrup. Females talking about being whores and sluts. Talking about anal sex. This is what your children are listening to. This is what you're listening to. This is what your baby's listening to. And the white man produces this music. The beast man produces this music, and he uses these black degenerates to deliver it to you. So if you're not getting attacked on these fronts by these degenerates, these black degenerates, in the music industry and on television and on videos, you're getting bombarded by these black degenerates. Then you're getting bombarded by these so-called conscious degenerates, these black conscious degenerates who act just like the rappers, going back and forth on social media, cursing each other out and dissing each other. But yet they're supposed to be the best and the best and the brightest, or the best black and the blackest and the best and the blackest of us that's going to lead us. Or you get it on the next level with these politician coons, right, who sit up here and claim they for black people and stuff like that, but yet they sitting up here promoting homosexual agendas, like Barack Obama promoting homosexual and lesbian agendas and whatnot, because that's what the white man want him to do. So the white man basically sponsors all of these people. They sponsor these people. You understand? These are the people whose videos you sitting up here listening to on YouTube. Because like I said, I don't expect a lot of people to listen to my videos on YouTube. I don't expect it. That's okay. I told you, don't listen. This ain't for the majority. This ain't for black people. My message ain't for black people. Nor is it for white people. Nor is it for mixed race. Nor is it for the other race of people. It's for the brighter bronze race. It's for the brighter bronze race. That highly intelligent race of bronze people. That solar race of bronze people who are coming out, who are waking up, who are coming out of the so-called black race. That brighter bronze race. That brighter bronze-skinned people. You understand? Those personified ones. That's who my message is for. My message ain't for the mentally dead black race. It's for the ones who waking up. Like that young brother that was on the line, because he seemed very sincere and genuine. He seemed sincere and genuine. I picked that up from him. And I'm hoping this message reaches a whole lot more young, brighter bronze men like that young man. And I encourage you to keep listening and come into the Republic of Mentellect amongst the brighter bronze race of Armenic descent. That's who we are, the brighter bronze race of Armenic descent. Now, if you got these niggas who want to sit up here, these conscious niggas who want to say, and I called you niggas, because that's what you are. You the white man's niggas. So yeah, I called you niggas. If you got these conscious niggas who want to sit up and say, oh, see who this guy think he is, he making that stuff up. Yeah, at least a brighter bronze man made it up. I didn't get my concept of who I am from a white man like you niggas did. I didn't get my concept of who I am from the white man like you niggas did. You understand? African, African American, black African power, black people, Negroes. You understand? I didn't get my concept of who I am from no goddamn white man. It came from me and through me. At least I can say that. Can you say that about Africa or being African? Can you say that about being black? Are you going to sit up there and lie Umar Johnson and claim that Africa came from some black people? Or you going to tell the truth and say like what everybody know who did their history, who know anything, know that name come from Caucasians? Like your degree did. But yet you want to sit up here and teach black people. You understand? From the same concept and the premise of Caucasians. People want to make damn puppet videos and whatnot. People doing puppets and whatnot and cursing each other. When they said, Tariq Nasheed said, he said, yeah, Umar this, that, and the third. See, a hustler know another hustler. So Umar called him, so Tariq Nasheed called himself a hustler. And he said, a hustler know another hustler. So he basically admitted he hustling. A hustler know another hustler. You understand? Umar Johnson said he the Sean Carter and the Biggie Smalls of this black country thing. These guys all call themselves hustlers. Jay-Z, Biggie said they hustlers. So if you saying you looking up to a bunch of degenerate niggas, you understand, who promoted nothing but drug dealing and they music, this you supposed to be educated, Umar Johnson. You looking up to and you talking about I'm the Sean Carter and I'm the Biggie Small. You want to be associated with that? You want to? That's who you want to be associated with? Biggie Smalls, Jay-Z. You understand? Who all these guys ever talked about is selling dope. You understand? That's all these guys talk about. This what you want to be associated with? But you gonna help the babies though, right? You listen to music like this, that junk is in your head, but this what you want to listen to? I never liked no damn Biggie Smalls or no Tupac Shakur or no Jay-Z. I never listened to that garbage. Because that garbage fills your head and starts you thinking you just like these people. It puts you in the line and the level of these people. You're supposed to be on a higher level than them. You trying to be like them. That's like the guys like 50 Cent and them. He want to be like a damn stick-up kid from the 80s in Brooklyn. That's who you put on a pedestal. See, you know what a man is about when you see who he put on a pedestal. That shows you what a real man and real woman are about. A male, who the difference is between males and females, who they put on a pedestal. You understand? I put the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on a pedestal. I put Dr. Malachi Z. York on the pedestal. And I don't give a damn. I know people going to say, oh, he a child molester, this, that, that. That man is not no child molester. And I still stand on that. Man built communities. You understand? I put those great men on pedestals. You put Biggie Smalls on a pedestal. Tupac Shakur. Jay-Z. You understand? Niggas. That's who you put on a pedestal. But you want to teach the babies. You understand that? This is what you're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. But then I say that, oh, something wrong with what I said. I don't care if you think it's something wrong with what I said. I don't care. You understand that? I don't care. You're supposed to be the icon, the people that's being looked up to. You understand that? The kids going to put you on a pedestal. You're supposed to be putting up great men who did something on a pedestal. You understand that? You could tell a lot about a man by who he put on the pedestal. Frederick Douglass, a race mixer, half-breed, race mixer, half-breed, race mixer, half-breed. You understand that? Marcus Garvey, a man who never went to Africa at all and failed in his mission. You understand? And used the damn Irish flag to represent black people with. These are people you put on a pedestal. You tell a lot about the vision of a man by who he put on a pedestal. Or hiring, like Tariq Nasheed, like Omar brought out, hiring white people to produce a black documentary. Hiring white people to produce a black documentary. You understand that? Or having a half-breed for a wife. The mentality. That's the mentality. That's peace and black power, family. That's the peace and black power. Talking about cursing out another black man's mother. This is the lost black people. This is the best y'all could do. This is the best you could do. Y'all in trouble. You understand? You getting it from all the way. That's pressure from the top, from the bottom, and from the middle. You getting all kinds. You getting leveled with all kinds of ignorance and degeneracy. You're getting leveled with all kinds of ignorance and degeneracy from all sides. If you look in the streets, you getting it. You look in the damn rap world and music world, you getting it. Entertainment field, you getting it. In the damn conscious community, you getting it. In the damn political world, you getting it. In the education system, you understand? All the way up into the upper echelon, into Hollywood, the entertainment, all that. You getting bombarded with black people getting bombarded with all kind of foolishness that's keeping you lost. You're getting bombarded with all kinds of foolishness. And then when you bring it out, you get black people that get an attitude with it. The so-called black people get an attitude with it. They don't like that. Why he talking about them? You ain't paying attention to why I'm saying this. Obviously, that's why you're lost. Because a lot of you so-called black people are personality-driven. You personality-driven. I like Umar. I like Tariq. I like Polite. I like the yeah. But what do they stand for? What do they stand for? What is it that they ultimately want to accomplish? Because based on that, that's what should tell you what the end game is for these people and why they're teaching you what they're teaching you and why they're in the positions they're in. Because like I said before, if people want to, oh, he hating on them, I'm not hating on them because I wouldn't trade places with none of them for anything in the world. I wouldn't. I swear on everything I love, I wouldn't trade places at all with nobody. I wouldn't trade places with Jay-Z or Kanye West or any of these people, Floyd Mayweather. I wouldn't trade places with them for nothing in the world. I don't want their spot because I know what they got to do to keep it. I know what they got to do to keep it, what they got to say, how they got to act. You understand? Who they owe, what they can't say. And that is the truth, that they here to keep you, this black so-called race, lost in darkness. Got you thinking that you're doing better. Got these people pacifying you, entertaining you, while the beast is snuffing you out gradually. He's snuffing you out. He's snuffing your children out in the education system. He's snuffing out your babies in the abortion clinics. You understand? But all you niggas want to hear is some Kodak Black and eat some chicken and have a big booty chick. You just want to get laid. A lot of you caught up on sex. You understand? That's all you want. A lot of you were whipped. That's all you want. Nothing. Nothing. This is why you stay lost. This is exactly why you stay lost. This is why you're mentally dead. This is why you're lost. You understand? This is why. See, we at the time of awakening. We at the time of a new evolution. You understand? We at the time of awakening, a new evolution, a bronze evolution. We at the beginning of the bronze evolution, the Bronze Age. We at the age of that. We at the beginning of the Bronze Age, a bronze evolution. Everything is going to be bronze. Everything is going to be bronze. We fading out of blackness. We getting away from the black. We coming out of the darkness. We coming out of the black, and we waking up. But for those of you who want to stay black, you want to stay black, you want to stay black, you want to stay African, you want to stay African, unapologetically African, then do that. Do that. Stay unapologetically African. Stay unapologetically black. You understand? Stay within the concepts of the white man who called you black Africans. You understand? Because all that means something, and it don't mean nothing good. I just told you that. It don't mean nothing good. You understand? It don't mean nothing. A lot of our people are going to fade to black. Even those who walking amongst me are going to fade to black because of your emotions, because of your low desires. A lot of people didn't want to keep it about almond. I gave you almond. I gave you almond to raise our people to persons. I gave you almond. A lot of you are going to turn your back on it. A lot of you are not going to make it. You understand that? Because black people can never see the bigger picture. Even those who walk with me can't see the bigger picture. A lot of them. But you're going to be replaced with those who can over time. That's the reality of this. That is the reality. This message is meant to be continuous, but it does not guarantee that the people will. Does not guarantee that because, like I said, black people, they want nothing. They want nothing. And they settle for nothing, even within themselves. They're not going to be the people who carry that supreme mindset, that supreme mentality. They're not going to be those people, the majority. You understand that? Only the strong mentally will make it. Only the mentally strong will make it. Only the mentally strong will make it. The ones who are mentally weak, the ones who are double-minded, the ones who can't keep their mind straight, they're not going to make it. That's the majority of your black race. That is the majority of your black race. The ones who are emotional, the ones who confused, the ones who caught up in sex, the ones who caught up in degeneracy, you're not going to make it. That's the majority of the black race today. 90-something% of the black race can be thrown down the toilet, flushed down the damn toilet. I'll say about 98% of the black race could be flushed down the damn toilet. 97 to 98% of the black race could be flushed down the damn toilet. And we start again with the 3%. Start with the 3%. Hell, really the 1%. You can flush the rest of these niggas down the toilet, man, because they garbage. They shit in the toilet. Black turds. Black shit. I said it. Flush them down the toilet, man. And if that means certain people that even walk with me, they got to go too. They got to go too. Because the message of Amen is getting more raw and raw and raw and uncut, like that raw Richter. That uncut to the gut. You understand that? Because these seats are going to get hot. This space is going to get hot. And it's only going to be for the chosen. It ain't going to be for the ones who are personality driven. It ain't going to be for them. It ain't going to be for the personality driven. It ain't going to be for the emotional ones. It ain't going to be for the ones who driven by people, place, and possession. The ones who caught up in sex and all the drugs, whatever you into. Double-mindedness, whatever you into. Your emotions. That's going to go. That's fading fast. So let me go ahead and read these questions before we out of here. That's like I said. Who is the lost black race? That's about 97% of so-called black people on the planet. They're lost. Lost. We can restart the bronze race. We can jumpstart or restart the bronze race with 3%. Hell, even 1%. We don't even really. We cut off the 99 and start with 1%. You understand? That's how that's going down. That's the lost black race. Why are black people lost? Because you caught in the now, and you're not thinking about the future. You have become locked into three-dimensional things: people, places, and possessions. You got hung up on people, places, and possessions. You got hung up on people, places, and possessions, and you forgot about Amen, which is the power. And through that power is the future you. That is the extension of you. Black people don't see that because to black people, I'm speaking in Chinese. What must we do to find out who we are? Find out who we are. Mentellect is the only message that's promoting who we truly are as the brighter bronze race of Armenic descent. Now again, these Negroes are stepping down. Oh, he made that up. Where you getting that from? Where you getting that from in history books, brother? I'm not going in history books. I'm going forward into the future. I'm not looking to the white man's concepts like you niggas are. I'm not looking back at what some black African Shango, whoever you look up to said. I don't care what they said. I don't care what the white man said. It's what I say and what Amen says going forward. The hell with the white man, the hell with you niggas. Who stands in the way of the lost black race? The slave and his slave master, the white slave master and his black slave, the educated slave, the thugged out slave, the rich slave, the black slaves, the religious black slaves, they all stand in the way. The conscious black slaves, they all stand in the way as the lost black race. And they're here to keep you lost. What will the intelligent black people find out, or those who are looking for intelligence? That you're not black, that you're not African, that you are more than that, and you came here to be more than that, that this planet actually belongs to you. Hell, the white man said it in that movie Planet of the Apes. He said, our world, their planet. Our world, their planet. Our world, their planet. He was calling us the apes. That was his way of saying this is really our planet, but we got our world set up on it, meaning their governments, which will fall down on top of their black slaves who believe in it. And that's it. Join me Wednesday night for the next Mentellect Radio broadcast. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. This has been Mentellect Radio. Good night.
Public of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities